Viewer discretion is advised. This clip contains weapons-grade hypocrisy.
We want privacy! We want privacy! We want privacy!
Could it be a mystery for the ages?
The curtains had barely lifted when the whisper started. One parody clip, one ruthless animated scroll, and suddenly Montecito was not quiet anymore. Meghan Markle, the Duchess who traded tiaras for trademarks, found herself back in the storm. But this was not just satire. This was war, drawn in ink and sarcasm. A legal one, a cultural one, and maybe the one she cannot spin her way out of.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
Every week, I'm genuinely surprised by what happens with the Sussexes.
They're the most entitled, disingenuous people on the planet. They moved from England to get away from the scrutiny of the press, and all they do is try to get in the press in the United States.
So it's no surprise to people who work in Buckingham Palace. They saw and witnessed all this here.
It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
Hi, I'm Meghan Markle.
And I'm Harry.
And we're royally screwed.
For kids, that's fun. So many good songs. And I've become that mom where I'm like sitting around with friends and I start singing like, Tyrannosaurus, that's the chorus, Tyrannosaurus. I was like, what am I singing? Oh my gosh, I'm singing Storybox. I'm singing Storybox. I am not singing Beyonce in that.
Because when cartoon characters start poking at royal wounds, the laughs echo louder and the stakes get sharper. This time, the punchlines landed right at Meghan's front door. It began like a joke. South Park aired another skit, a cartoonish caricature, some exaggerated bump jokes, a Duchess crying, "We want privacy," while chasing the spotlight. But somewhere between the gags and the jabs, a nerve got hit. Not just bruised, but shattered. Meghan did not laugh, and neither did her team.
People do with pineapple, instead of just cutting it to make the perfect little bite, you follow the wedge. When nature has given you all the cues on how to have a perfect taste of something.
Oh, how fun is that? I love it.
Sources whispered of chaos in Montecito. Legal pads stacked high. Crisis calls looping past midnight. Why? Because this time, it was not just mockery. It felt like a personal war. Meghan Markle was not just being teased. She was being dissected. Her brand, her motherhood, even her public image, all flung into the satirical blender.
Oh, shut up.
No! I refuse! I'm sick of it!
Now, look, Maureen.
I can't.
Look at this.
I can't.
Like, guys, you don't gotta do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
Meghan, I'm begging you to stop now.
What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are?
No, I don't want to cook again, Meghan. My God, take a break.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
It's so funny you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know it's Sussex.
The dysfunctional Duchess. She says she runs businesses. The woman couldn't run a bath.
As ever essentially means as it's always been.
Half of her friendships are, do you have a private jet or not? Oh, great, I'm your best friend now.
Breaking right now, as ever, might as well be renamed to as never.
This was not some vague celebrity jab. It was direct and relentless. They mocked her titles, her causes, even the way she marketed jam. It was not animated noise. It was narrative sabotage. And in Meghan's world, where branding is armor and control is currency, this parody was not entertainment. It was a threat.
Beginning of that clip where she's like, oh my God,
She just wanted to be a pretend princess in Hollywood, so she split her husband off from his royal family.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time?
Listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf.
Trying to make ourselves into a brand just turned us into products. We don't need to be a brand, do we?
According to insiders, the Duchess snapped, and the phrase that allegedly echoed through her estate was not polished or royal. It was raw. Sue them all. Montecito's luxury calm broke under printer clicks and hushed urgency. Somewhere behind double-locked doors, aides huddled around glowing laptops and chaotic whiteboards. The plan forming in real time? Draft, serve, and hope they flinch. Or leak, scare, and walk away before any judge gets involved. An insider called it a startup, crashing into a courtroom thriller. Someone was citing US parody laws. Someone else was Googling whether cartoon chicken noises could be emotionally damaging. Another was writing crisis captions for Instagram. In the middle of the night, Meghan's private printer spit out a thick, redacted legal draft. Summons, docket lines, bold warnings. Still unsigned, but deadly serious. By sunrise, that bundle was sealed in a courier pouch near the front door, as if daring someone to pick it up and push the button. Color-coded strategy boards labeled bluff, fire, and fold began shifting. PR staff scribbled notes beside lawyers, quoting precedent. The question hung in the room. Would Meghan risk a courtroom war? Or was the paper never meant to leave the pouch? If the rumors are true, the document was not just a cease and desist, it was a show of force. 9 pages long, packed with legal firepower. Its tone was crisp and cold. One phrase jumped out in bold type. Immediate cessation of all defamatory depictions, spoken or animated. The list of claims included false light, intentional emotional distress, and prenatal harassment. Parody, they argued, had crossed into cruelty. Behind the scenes, a dual team of legal muscle was rumored to be in play. British firm Shillings, known for media suppression, and American heavyweight Quinn Emanuel. One brought the tradition, the other the litigation. In one sharp paragraph, the letter demanded that Paramount Studios surrender all related materials within 72 hours. That meant scripts, audio files, marketing plans. South Park had never done this for anyone. Not for Scientology. Not for China. Certainly not for Meghan. To lawyers on the outside, the real purpose was obvious. Set a countdown. Spark fear. Make people believe litigation was already underway, even if no papers ever reached the court clerk. At South Park Studios, the reaction was the opposite. There was no panic, no legal scrambling, just laughter, unfiltered and loud. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, veterans of celebrity meltdowns, read the legal threat and reportedly grinned. One turned to the other and said, "Congratulations, we just sold out the first ad pod." Their writer's Slack exploded with a new thread named Operation Bring It. They did not cut the parody, they sharpened it. A new fake legal scroll now opens the episode. Title, Notice of Hurt Feelings? Signed by the Duchess of Dismay. A cartoon lawyer begins explaining parody law before being hit in the face with a rubber chicken. It was petty, it was theatrical, and it dared Meghan to strike. South Park does not retreat from controversy. It runs toward it. One studio lawyer allegedly quipped, "Parody eats defamation for breakfast." What they could not say in public, they said in ink. And the message was loud. If this goes to court, we will make it a spectacle. As Meghan's team fired warning shots and South Park dialed up the satire, Hollywood held its breath. Sponsorship teams and legal departments started scrambling. Netflix called an emergency strategy meeting. Fashion labels paused capsule collection talks. Everyone remembered that Meghan still had unreleased content, campaigns, and deals in post-production. At Netflix, the meeting was described as a quiet panic huddle. Their platform hosted Meghan's docuseries. South Park was not their content, but the optics were too close. What if the internet turned both into punchlines? One luxury hotel chain floated a 7-figure retreat deal, but only if Meghan signed a legal waiver protecting them from parody fallout. A Napa vineyard inserted a clause about animated ridicule into its contract. Even her jam brand, As Ever, saw a planned launch delayed by worried retailers. The most alarming signal came from Meghan's finance team. A spreadsheet was passed around. Title: Cash on hand versus counsel retainer. A red note circled in ink read, Appeal not included. Every new legal option now came with a price tag, and every delay in action came with brand risk. The battle lines had been drawn. Legal teams were sharpening their filings. Animators were redrawing punchlines. But beyond the boardrooms and cartoon studios, something else had started to move. The public.
You might watch it in the same way that I turn my head to see a car accident.
It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time.
These two are now an international embarrassment.
Here's the problem. We don't like you, Meghan Markle.
Just follow my lead, Harry. I've been on TV for years, so I'm kind of a pro.
Yes, the very famous show Suits.
Yeah. Plus, it's a really good platform to promote my brand.